Hey, what's up, fifth grade? Welcome to At Home Learning Art Edition. So, our project this week is titled Color Theory Tree with Line Pattern and Value. So, I'm going to go ahead and read our learning objective. So, if you're on the instructions page, go ahead and follow along with me. We will be able to create an original artwork using line, pattern, color, and value. Let's go ahead and read our demonstration of learning. Given art materials, I will be able to create an original artwork with 3 to 5 line patterns, draw organic shapes, and use colors to create value. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is define our terms so we understand what's going on and what we're doing. So the first term is pattern. Go ahead and give me an example of a pattern. Yeah, that works. So you could have done a line pattern, which is zigzag, curve, wavy, zigzag, curve, wavy. You could have done a color pattern, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, or you could have done a shape pattern, circle, triangle, square, circle, triangle, square. So a pattern repeats itself. Okay, so let's talk about value. What is value? Yeah, so value is the lightness or darkness of a color. So for example, if you take blue and you have light blue, blue, and dark blue, that's a value scale. So you have 3 different values of blue. Light blue would be a tint, dark blue would be a shade, and regular blue would just be blue, obviously. Okay, so we know what patterns are, we know what value is. So we're going to create an artwork with 3 to 5 line patterns, organic shapes, and we're going to use the cool and warm colors to create value. So before we get started drawing our tree, I want to show you how to draw a tree branch. Now it's going to be a zigzag line, and it's going to be elongated and stretched out. And it's going to get thinner as it goes away towards the end of the branch and thicker towards the trunk of the tree. You do not want to make a branch like this zigzag line where it looks squished and smashed together like an accordion. Do not do a tree branch like that. Here's another wrong way to do it. Do not make a tree branch where it's all the same thickness throughout, even to the end of the branch. You want to make a tree branch where it's more like the middle one, where it starts out thicker towards the trunk and ends up skinnier towards the end of the branch. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to draw your tree and your circle. So I'm going to start by dividing up the paper into thirds. So as you can see, I've made 2 soft lines, dividing the paper into thirds, and I'm going to take 2 of those thirds, and I'm going to draw the circle covering 2/3 of the paper. 1/3 is blank, but 2/3 is covered by the circle, and the circle should touch the outer edges of the paper. Okay, voila. So you should be using soft lines. You should not need to erase at this time. You should definitely not be pushing hard. So I'm going to draw the tree trunk here, and after I draw the tree trunk, I'm going to start drawing the branches. So the branches are going to look like zigzag lines stretched out to the edge of the circle. It's going to kind of look like a hand with fingers. So you want to make sure that the branches are skinny towards the edge of the circle and thick towards the edge of the trunk. You don't want them to be the same thickness. Okay, here's my 3rd branch, my 3rd core branch, and my 4th core branch. Now after we finish making the core branches of the tree, we're going to draw offshoots. So there's going to be all different kinds and and all different sizes and lengths of offshoots. Let's start here. Okay, off this branch, I'm making an offshoot. And once I make offshoots, I'm going to go ahead and draw offshoots on the offshoots. So it just means that we're going to fill up the circle with branches upon branches upon branches. Go ahead and keep watching to see how to do it. And you can repeat the same process on your paper. Okay, now that all the branches are completed and they filled the circle, I'm going to take my eraser and erase my helper lines that separate the paper into thirds because it's covering part of the tree. So go ahead and erase your helper lines. Alright, so now I'm going to make a grid on my paper. Now, when you make your grid, you're going to want to use a ruler, and you're going to make inch wide squares. So the square should be 1 inch by 1 inch. So you're going to have to make tick marks on one side of the paper and on the other side in inches, and draw a corresponding line to each tick mark and make a grid. Now, you do not want to draw over the tree. I'm drawing over my tree, but that's only because I'm in this computer program and I can easily erase it and fix it. So right now, as you can see, I drew the grid line over my tree and I'm erasing the grid line. Now, if you draw over your tree, that's okay. You can still erase. However, don't push hard because then you won't be able to erase. And it would just be easier if you draw your grid line, but you skip the tree branches. So go ahead, get your ruler, make 1 inch measurements on each side of your paper, and draw lines across to each corresponding mark, but skip the tree. You're going to draw through the circle, you're going to draw through the background, but you're not going to draw through the tree. But again, if you draw through the tree, you can erase it, like I'm doing now. Okay, so now you can take a darker line or a harder line and go over your tree and outline all of your sketchy pencil lines. If you have a black pen or a dark black color of some kind, whether it be crayon, whether it be marker, just a dark black, and trace all of your sketchy pencil lines until you see a clear outline. So once I get this finished, and once you get yours finished, this is a great opportunity to fix your mistakes with your dark line. And once it's finished, you can come back with an eraser and erase all of your mistakes and your sketchy lines that don't look good. I'm about to do it right now. Bam, there it is. Okay, so that's the basic drawing that you need to complete for this week. And if you can outline it in a black pen, a black crayon, marker, or colored pencil, that would be awesome as well. Make sure to erase your mistakes, erase your sketchy helper lines, and you should just have a completed drawing with a grid line in the back, a circle taking up 2/3 of the paper, and a tree with 4 core branches and offshoots in the middle of the paper and the circle. I've included a template as an example so you can see exactly what you should be doing. All right, hope you have fun doing this assignment. Peace out.